Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Diesel Mercedes YouTube channel. I have here today in my shop this wonderful 2007 Dodge Sprinter 2500 CRD. You can see it's the high roof and it has a OM 642 turbo diesel engine, and we will do engine oil and filter change. And on this one today, I decided not to mess around and I got all OEM materials. So we have those 13 quarts of the oil from the Mercedes dealer, and we have also original engine oil filter. And before I will start the whole procedure, I will make sure that engine is hot. So I will get most of that used oil out of the engine. Good news on these Sprinters is that there is plenty of space underneath the vehicle to perform the oil change. So you saw my catching pane, and here is actually on the side of the engine oil pan, there is a nicely located drain plug. To open that drain plug, to crack it open, I need a 13mm socket. Let's see how tight it is. Oh yeah, I will call this over tight. There's no reason to be tight so much, because there is always a risk stripping the thread in that aluminum engine oil pan. So that was a little bit too much, but that's fine. I'm moving that plug out with my hand. I'm wearing gloves. If you do that, always wear protective gear, glasses, rubber gloves, and boom, the oil is nicely coming out. Now note, I already mentioned there are 13 quarts used in this engine, so make sure your catching pan is big enough. While it is draining on the bottom, it's a good habit to open this filler plug. So as the oil is leaving the engine, there will be no created vacuum and it will nicely flow out. While it's slowly draining and dripping on the bottom, I can continue up here. So the filter housing, you are looking at it, it's right there, and this whole intake, it's kind of in my way. So I will show you how I deal with this to create more space. I will disconnect this jump starting terminal, moving it up. That's disconnected nicely from the entire intake. I will disconnect MAF sensor by pushing on the sides. This is MAP sensor, also nicely disconnected, and I will use the screwdriver to loose this clamp. Here we go. So this is the intake hose. After that, I will be ready, and this takes just a second. I will be ready to lift this up and completely remove it. Let's see, you don't disconnect it here because there's no reason for that, so remove that. And prying up, 1, 2, and moving it out, including this, I have entire intake gone. Look with me on this wonderful workspace I just created. I should be able, if I grab it really good, to crack it open by hand only, and I will not need a wrench for it. Let's see if I'm lucky. Down there it was over tight. Yeah, maybe I'm lucky this time. Look, it's moving. So at least this part wasn't over tight. It was correctly torqued and it's coming slowly out. So I have here the pan to catch all that oil which is sitting inside with that filter, And while I'm opening this, I actually can hear that the draining on the bottom started again, draining more oil. Very good. I'm glad we didn't close the bottom yet. I think I'm ready to carefully lift it, and hopefully you will see. Yep, there's very little dripping anymore. Oh yeah, there is still some. Again, I try to keep everything tidy and clean, but this is the housing with the filter and the O-rings. Here is what is left behind. It's that engine oil filter housing with the passages and so on. Here comes the messy part, is removing that filter, right? So that is going to be recycled, and now I have two O-rings to remove. This is the large one right here. I hope you can see it. So that will be replaced. And there is a very small one on the tip. I will bring that closer to you. I have a special pick for it right here. And this right here on the top. You see that little O-ring right there? That needs to be replaced too. It's a part of the maintenance procedure, and it should be, or it will be supplied. It will be in that package of that brand new Mercedes-Benz filter, you will see. So I pull this off. Now I can clean it as much as I want, and I will start installing a new parts. Now, while I'm cleaning it, I would like to show you a detail. Do you see how this top part, right, it was this way in the vehicle, how it's all scraped and damaged, that plastic? Well, this is because the people are not using correct tools to undo this, or somebody maybe over-tied it, and then they were using channel locks or something, they don't have a right tool, and it's all scraped and damaged. Fortunately only on surface, and I can definitely keep using this cap. Here is the new part direct from Mercedes-Benz dealer, so you will see how it looks. I don't see any reason for buying aftermarket stuff just to save a few dollars. I don't see a reason why. So we set two O-rings. It's the small one right here and the big one, and here comes the filter. High quality Mercedes-Benz unit. Look, I will start with the mini baby, right? The teeny tiny O-ring right here. And then in the large groove, pay attention where you are putting it, so you don't put it in the wrong way. In the large groove goes the new O-ring. And that new O-ring is what it's sealing everything. There's no need to over-tight this whole unit. You grab the filter, it's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter what way it goes on, and it's basically ready for install. For that new O-ring to get seated, always could be looped tiny bit with engine oil, just very little, so when it's coming in it will be nicely seated and it will not get pinched or anything. And I'm going carefully by the hand, feeling the thread all the way in. I personally use only my hand. I go all the way, and by the hand I tight it as much as I can. Never had any leaks from it, right? I just reach the end, grabbing it like that. I know it's perfectly tight. I never had any leaks, and it's always quite easy to remove it. It's not stuck and so on. So this is my way to do it. But if you want to be perfect, grab a wrench, grab a torque range and tight it to 25 Newton meters. I'm ready to put this whole unit back nicely. Align it in the back. Here you just push it down in these grommets. Boom and boom. Realign this. Now I have these sensors. As I said, it's a MAP. It's the small one. And a MAF. It's the big one. And this fell off, so I will put it back and use that screwdriver to tight this clamp. Alright, so that's tight enough. I will not forget about this jump start terminal, which just slides down. And that's how it's seated. Once again, everything is perfectly in the place. And I'm ready to move underneath the truck. When I was removing that bolt, I said I felt it was over tight. One of the reasons will be because there was no crush washer. I don't know who did it last time, but they didn't put that soft aluminum crush washer between the pan and the bolt. So I found one, fortunately, and that's one of the things which prevents damaging the thread in the pan, also prevents any possible leaks. So having it there correctly, now I can torque it now nice and snug, and I know there will be no leaks, and also I will not damage anything. And this is just perfect. I will just wipe off that little droplet and we will be ready to start filling the engine with the new oil. Here you remember that filler opening. It's pretty large, but I love to prevent any possible spills, so I always use a funnel. Here is that beautiful, beautiful engine oil direct from the dealer. Pretty incredible, don't you think? I like that presentation. It comes in the liters, and if we read the spec for this OM642, we know it takes 12.5 liters, which equals 13.2 US quarts. So let's go start pouring it in. Let's see what's the color and so on. Oh yeah, beautiful gold. I love it. So I will definitely go and pour 12.5 of these. Now I can remove the funnel, install the cap back, and I'm basically finished with that engine oil and filter change. I will still go for myself, start the engine, look underneath if I don't have some possible leak. I will put for myself on windshield reminder sticker, because in my case I would like to run this only for 5,000 miles. The electronic system in the vehicle is set up for 10,000 miles, or Mercedes says 2 years when you are doing these oil changes. I personally, when this is mine, I want to have the best oil for that engine, so I do it myself, and I will change it again after 5,000 miles, but that's just my preference. In different video I will show how to reset that oil maintenance in the vehicle inside that electronic system. So make sure you are subscribed and you don't miss any videos about this and other sprinters on this channel. Thank you for watching and have a great day, my friend.